Hi everybody, today we're going to be talking about essential and non-essential clauses. So if you remember, a clause is a group of words that does have a subject and does have a verb. Sometimes they can be independent, which means that they can stand alone on their own as their own sentence, but also they could be dependent, meaning they depend on the rest of the sentence in order to make sense, okay? Here, we're going to be talking about some essential and non-essential clauses. If a clause is essential, that means that the sentence absolutely needs it in order to make complete sense. If it's non-essential, then it's not needed to make complete sense. Just lift it up out of the sentence, and the sentence itself still makes complete sense. All right, so here's our punctuation pointer for today. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. That's what makes it different from just a phrase. A phrase is only a group of words. A clause, however, does have a subject and it has a verb, okay? An essential clause is one that is necessary to the meaning of the main sentence, okay? The main sentence needs it. If you left an essential clause out, the meaning of the sentence would completely change. Do not use commas to separate an essential clause from the main sentence. Okay, so if the clause is essential and the sentence needs it, then we don't need commas to separate it out. It's not necessary, okay, because the sentence needs it, so we don't want to separate anything. On my history test, comma, I missed every single question that was true or false. Notice that this clause that has a subject, that, and a verb, was, would completely change the meaning of this sentence if it wasn't there, okay? If it wasn't there, the sentence would read, on my history test, I missed every single question, okay? That's not what this means. This one means that we only missed the questions that were true or false, okay? So because this clause completely changes the meaning of this sentence, it's essential, and we need it in order to understand the entire sentence. Okay, in order to understand the meaning. Okay, that's what makes it essential. A non-essential clause is one that's not necessary to the meaning of the main sentence. If you left out a non-essential clause, the meaning of the sentence doesn't change. Use commas to separate a non-essential clause from the main sentence. Okay, Kara, who has a beautiful voice, sang a solo at the wedding. Notice that if we take out who has a beautiful voice, this clause right here, it doesn't change the sentence's meaning. The main topic of the sentence is that Kara sang a solo at the wedding. It's not that she has a beautiful singing voice. Kara sang a solo at the wedding is the main topic, okay? It doesn't change that. This is the sentence's meaning, and this clause, who has a beautiful voice, doesn't change the meaning of this sentence. So that's why it's not essential. We can lift it right up. And because it's not essential, we need to have it separated from the rest of the sentence with commas to show that we can just lift it out of the sentence and eliminate it. It won't make that big of a difference, okay? All right, so let's take a look at our exercises for today. The directions say to look at the clause underlined in each sentence. If the clause is an essential clause, write an E in front of the sentence. Okay? If the clause is a non-essential clause, write an N in front of the sentence. Okay? So let's take a look. My brother, who goes to college, is coming home this weekend. This clause that's underlined here, who goes to college, is not needed in order to make this sentence make sense. My brother is coming home this weekend. Okay, that's the main topic of this sentence, and this clause right here is not essential to it. So we're going to write an N on our line because this is not essential to the meaning of this sentence. Okay, I'm throwing away all the towels that have holes in them. That have holes in them is definitely essential to the meaning of this sentence. Let's read it without it. I'm throwing away all the towels. Okay, that completely changes that sentence's meaning. If I am just throwing away, if I leave this out, then I'm throwing away all of the towels. And that's not what the sentence is trying to mean. The sentence means that I'm throwing away all the towels that have holes in them. Okay? And because that changes the sentence's meaning, this is an essential clause. I definitely need it in order for the sentence to make sense. Essential. E for essential. Okay, see what you can do with 3 through 8.